So we got Daisy, who is calling from Washington, who wants to talk to us. Daisy, you are live on Truth Wanted. What's going on?
Oh my God. Hey, what up? This is Daisy. Hey, Dan and Calvin. I'll be super quick. I want you to get to other callers.
Hey, you just got here. Relax. I know you've been in the queue for like 40 minutes
Take
now.
Your shoes off. Stay a while.
Yeah, just stay a minute. You're good.
Oh, okay. Am I good? Really?
You are absolutely good, Daisy. 100%.
Okay.
Talk to me. What you got?
I'll get right into it. Do you think there's other people with other religions, right? And they are going like door to door to sort of evangelize and that kind of thing. Do you think that atheists should be doing that kind of thing? Or like, because I've heard a lot of atheists that say like, I hate it when people try to push their religion on me and that kind of thing. But given that there are harms that are associated with religious belief that are harming people like myself in very tangible ways, do you think that we should be more, do more outreach in terms of like actually promoting atheism as a way of, as a belief system, not as a non-belief stance?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that atheists should be going door to door and, passing out flyers about why people should be atheists and why atheism is superior, whatever it may be. I don't think that we should be doing that. No. What I am an advocate for is making ourselves known, making ourselves, be noticed necessarily, I guess you could say. Like we've talked about multiple times, we do the street epistemology stuff. I take a sign and I'm there. I'm not approaching onto someone's property and forcing, what I don't believe on them. I'm standing in public right down the street from them if they happen to be out and about and see that I'm there, just literally minding my own business, available for the conversation. That's different. I mean, I think it's more so, instead of us enforcing what we do or don't believe going door to door like Jehovah's Witnesses or whatever, I think it's more beneficial to just be available for people who have questions, comments, concerns, that, not making us all look like firebrand atheists that are going to like yell at them and argue with them. Just being like, hey, I don't really believe in the same thing as you, but, we can talk about that if you want, and just kind of leave it at that. Set the example, I guess you could say.
Yeah. You probably know about, go ahead, Daisy.
But being firebrand is not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like ways that the individual atheist, and I know there's lots of different types of atheists, and they all have different ideologies, all that. But actually, what the best way it is for an individual that, say, doesn't have a group that they are like in Austin, there's like a bunch of this channel has been going on, and they have the library and all this kind of stuff. But over here in Washington, like, I can't find any sort of atheist community in my specific area. I live across the pond from Seattle. So like, there's no like big atheist community here. But what
they got to make one.
Check this out. Calvin, how many followers you have on TikTok right now?
I have just shy of 100K.
Okay. How many people did you have to know? How many atheists did you have to know to get that?
Literally zero.
Yeah, that's right. So activism, you don't need groups of people to do it at all. Absolutely. Right. Calvin has a phone and a dream. That's it. That's what he's doing. Okay. like, I get it. Right. Support. Absolutely. Encouragement. Yes. Right. We need that. And if you can find an online community to help you with that, that's great as well. But for activism, you don't necessarily need it. Right? You really don't. Right? We used to have to do this show in the building, in the studio. I'm doing this from my home office right now. Right? It's connecting to the server that's at our building, but I could have been streaming this from my computer. Right? The technology and stuff is out there. We don't have to go door to door. That's the thing. We can make an impact online just doing stuff, and people have been doing that. We're fighting an uphill battle. Okay, most people do not like atheists. You probably know there's a Pew Research study that talks about the warmness of people. on average, the average American views atheists the same way they do Muslims. Okay. And you know how the average American views Muslims. Okay. It's not exactly positive for a lot of people. At least they wouldn't publicly admit it. Right. So it's like, you know, I'm not going to engage in the stereotype of going door to door. I don't think that's going to help. If anything, that's going to make it worse. Online, yeah, people are annoying, but it makes a difference. And our last callers just showed us that. Right. So in terms of activism, you want pound for pound, you can do more stuff online than you can do door to door. You really can.
And with there not being a community that you think is around you, I can almost guarantee that there is, to be honest. Like, because I was the same thing. Like, I didn't think there was really any like atheist communities here in like Southeast Michigan by Detroit, you know. And then I came to find one, Michigan Atheists and the Secular Alliance of Michigan. They're both in Southeast Michigan. So now I, you know, hang out with them and, you know, fellow like-minded people. If there really is not a group around you, I guess you need to make one. You know, like I started a Facebook group when I couldn't find, you know, Sam or the Michigan Atheists. I started my own Facebook group for atheists, and you know, no one joined it, but I made it and I tried. You know, the point is just, you know, just know that, you know, you're not alone. There are like-minded people around you. You might just have to do a little bit of legwork to find those people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I absolutely know that there are atheists here, but one thing that I wanted to bring up, and I'll let you go real quick, but is that Bremerton, Washington, is the place where the Supreme Court case was. I don't know if you remember about the case in the Supreme Court about the coach who was going on to like the school football field and doing prayer in the public school. That's where I am. And so I feel like there's like an opportunity there, like that. There could be a pushback in the place where that happened, even though the Supreme Court already ruled yes on it, like that it can happen. What would you say in terms of like creating a group? Like what would be the most effective way that I could do that? Do you think?
Well, in terms of that, well, for legal stuff, there is an organization, and actually, I think they helped at least write an opinion for that case, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Freedom from Religion Foundation does that, and in fact have participated in landmark cases for this kind of expression. And I've talked with them. I've been at conferences with them. They're always looking for help when they can. You know, so I'm sure that if you went online and you said, "Hey, I want to be able to volunteer," they can point you into how you can best help them. They're one of the big, and we've had them on our programs as well. They're one of the only atheist organizations out there that are approaching things from a legal standpoint, which is incredibly important. As you mentioned, as people's rights are being taken away every single day, they're going to make sure that they're going to have to fight for that rather than step all over us, right? So there's definitely orgs like them out there for sure.
Okay, and final question: what do you think about like FSM or like the Satanic Church? Do you think that those are avenues in which people who are kind of like nominally atheists but do these sort of like mockery kind of religions in order to get legislation passed? Do you think that that's an effective means of getting things through?
What do you think, Calvin?
I mean, I don't know if it's. So I think that the pushback is good. You know, I think that we shouldn't just like let Christians, you know, or whoever maybe, whatever religious ideology might be, you know, walk all over not even just atheists, but just believers or non-believers of that particular belief system. All pushback is good. You know, Muslims push back, and you know, atheists push back. You know, because we're all here in this country and we all have a say in the country. So I think that, you know, equally there should be equal pushback from all perspectives.
Yeah, you know, there's the.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Daisy.
Go for it. No, go for it.
Just say there's different parts of there's like the temple, the Satanic Temple, and the Church of Satan are two different things, right? And like one of them is the one that does the more like political organizing, as you're talking about, right? So, you know, I think like those are the ones that are doing that kind of work, and that definitely has shown to have its value in local communities in particular. And the other one I think is more for, you know, like your own individual expression of, you know, satanic values and stuff, which has its own values there for sure. And I'm sure they do activism stuff, but it's one is particularly known for doing that. So I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty mixed about it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, they're doing great stuff. Sometimes it's like, all right, we're just kind of perpetuating some stuff here that I don't know if is actually helping our case, but I can't deny that they've done work, you know. So that's really up to you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But what about the flying spaghetti monster people?
I mean, you know, that's kind of the silly parts of the atheist community. That's just kind of people just kind of poking fun. I think
there are a known open troll religion. Like I literally have planned, like I'm gonna get my flying spaghetti monster like diploma and like be a member of it. You know, you just have to pay like $50 on their website, you know, and you get a plaque. So it's not by any means like a real.
There was a march. Real quick, there was a actual march of the flying spaghetti monster in Russia, and the Catholics actually beat them down and like made a huge stink of things. Against the march of the.
I mean, people don't like it. I'm not saying that it hasn't actually affected real life things. I genuinely think people considering the flying spaghetti monster has helped some people deconstruct. I'm fully with you there, but I'm interested in broad strategies, right? I'm interested in trying to get as many people as possible, harm reduction sort of thing. In my experience, the flying spaghetti monster isn't the most effective for most people. So I'm going to try and do what's most effective for most people. That's not how you have to do it. You figure out that path for yourself, but you know, I mean, it's an option.
Well, I think the most effective way is just to explain that to people that there's no please present the evidence that you have that a God exists. And then if their answer is faith, well, then that's not a very good method of like coming to what you believe in.
But see, that's your opinion, though. That's your opinion. That's the problem, isn't it? We have to convince people that our opinions are meaningful on stuff. What if they don't view science as a reliable way of knowing things? What if they don't view philosophy as a reliable way of knowing things? What if they view faith as something? You see what? But look, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that they're wrong, but how are you convincing them that they're wrong? That's what you got to think about. It's not enough that you're right about it. You have to be convincing, right?
Yeah, persuasion.
Have you ever dropped your worldview on something like so deeply to you entirely from a single conversation with somebody? Probably not, right? Like, I don't think most of us have.
I don't think that a single conversation can have that kind of effect on somebody. I think that it's sort of like you plant the seeds and later the plant grows.
I agree.
But not immediately.
Exactly.
I agree. So I don't think, and this is my opinion, Daisy, but I don't think that we should be having our conversation saying, hey, your whole worldview is wrong. And I'm going to, and let me explain to you why. Like, that's a lot for someone to take in, right? Like, we gotta start with, okay, so you think faith is a reliable way of knowing things. Let's start with that. What makes faith better than other? I mean, you know, you got to break these down piecemeal here, right?
Yeah, but do you think that that methodology that you're talking about is going to do this fast enough for people not to be harmed?
Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? Sometimes speed and expediency is not the most ethical way of doing things, is it? I mean, I could say I wish there was a law that outlawed all of Christianity tomorrow, but I'm not sure if that's right morally. I don't know if I could actually agree with that deep down, right? Like, I want people to change their minds because they want to change their minds. I don't want to make people change their minds, right? There's something totalitarian about that makes it difficult for me to swallow.
But what I am actually like, there's, I know you guys don't want to talk about politics too much, but like there is kind of forces that are coming against me right now.
Absolutely.
That are making it like having tangible effects in my life where I can't get the medicine that I need because of who I am and that kind of thing. And it's done from a place of sort of like Christian nationalism and this kind of thing. And so like I'm just kind of desperate here. Like I need a solution that can go faster than what.
I understand. I wish I could tell you. First of all, I can't advocate for direct action while I'm doing a show for the nonprofit that is the atheist community of Austin. Okay, I have limitations to my speech. First of all, let me put that out there. Okay, you know, I have a reasonable range of things I can say. There's some stuff I can't get to. Okay, that they wouldn't let me say. But here's what I can say is that I'm with you, and I know Calvin's with you. And the fastest and most expedient ways that I can help you out, I want to help you out. Right. And I want to do what's within my power right now. I swear to you, Daisy, I try to do that every week. I've been trying to do that for years for folks exactly like yourself who are in a much more vulnerable position than I will probably ever be. And for that alone, that motivates me. So I want to do my best to help you, Daisy, and I'll try to give you all the solutions I can, but I'm only one person at the end of the day, you know? Like,
totally
just know you're not alone. There are other people
thank you
thinking
for
about
doing
you
that.
and your situation, and we're all on your side. We do want to help you. Sorry, Calvin, I've been talking, hogging this conversation here, but I want you to chime in as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been agreeing with, you know, really everything that you've been saying. You know, I'm there with you 100%, Daisy. You know, I want you to, you know, live a long, happy life. You know, not have to worry about, you know, certain aspects of your life being, you know, destroyed or changed because, you know, government says so. Yeah, just know like there's always community out there for you. I'm there for you. You know, there's other people like you that are you know, going through similar situations who, you know, I know would very much like to team up with you and you know, change some things. So, you know, I think you're on the right path. You just need to just keep going. You know, you'll find something.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I'm going to do my very best for everybody who's like me, and also for the ACA and everybody in those shows. So I'll let you guys go now. But thank you so much for your input. It actually was really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Daisy.
you.
Thank you for calling.